Through the years, video games has been one of the biggest hobbies in the world. However, video games has been placed under a very bad light, and a lot of people think nothing good comes from playing video games. Parents often think that video games will take their kids nowhere and is really just a big waste of time. Contrary to this belief, video games are something that I would recommend as a hobby. More kids should consider playing video games as a hobby because it provides a healthy outlet compared to other alternatives. And there are also a lot of opportunities and benefits in this industry. To understand why kids should take up gaming as a hobby, it's important that we realize some of the things people say against gaming. Video games are thought to cause laziness. People think that whenever people play video games that they're doing nothing good for themselves and it's just laziness. They don't want to get out and do nothing. They think that they're just sitting in front of a TV screen all day. The truth is that some kids just might want to cool down, play the game before bed after a long day, and it's really not that bad if you do it in moderation. Video games have been thought to cause a waste of time, and they're not productive. A lot of parents would like to see their kids get out and do stuff more productive, as they would say, but really, the people that say this don't understand what all goes into playing video games. They think it's just a really big waste of time. According to the author Alda Hickory, many people think video games are violent and cause obesity. These bad influences that are associated with gaming is not true for everyone, especially if it doesn't consume your kids' lives and they also have a life outside of this hobby. It should be a hobby used in moderation. Also, not all video games are violent, and there are a variety of video games, whether it's sports video games, it's competitive video games, there's puzzling video games where you have to solve mysteries, solve problems. There's different games to suit everyone's interests. So it's not all violent. Everyone thinks of violent video games, but not all of them are like that. More kids should take up gaming as a hobby because it provides a healthy outlet compared to alternative hobbies. Video games are a great way to end a stressful day. If you've had a long day at school or had a long day doing things like that, it's good to hop on for a couple hours before bed and cool down, and while still using your brain for the games. Many of the video games are very rewarding, and some kids need some rewarding things in their life. So if you complete a level or you complete a mission, you get past a hard part you couldn't get past, it's very rewarding. So that's another benefit that can come from gaming. In Article 10, Benefits of Gaming, Sigma explains that games help people to cope with stress, which can be a huge incentive and reward for kids. If they can accomplish something in a video game, it gives them a self-worth and confidence that they may be lacking in outside of this hobby. Other hobbies do not challenge as much as video games do. The big hobbies now is laying in bed and watching TikTok or getting on social media and getting caught up in all things like that. With video game, you're kind of staying out of all the drama and you're kind of just doing your thing. You're trying to improve, get better at the game you're playing and stuff like that. So I think it's better than a lot of other hobbies that are popular these days. In the book, What Games Have to Teach Us About Learning and Literacy by James Paul McGee, takes on a unique approach and says that video games promote critical thinking and opportunities for learning for kids. Like I said, there's many video games that are really challenging and you really have to use your brain to get past the level, whether you're solving puzzles, step by step with clues. So not all games are a waste of time as people would think. Instead of fostering laziness, video games actually are challenging and encourage students to learn things that they necessarily wouldn't learn in a traditional classroom. Video games should be favored as a hobby because there are endless financial opportunities with gaming. A lot of people think video games will take you absolutely nowhere, but that's not true. There's many teenage kids 16, 17, 18 years old that have made a lot of money playing video games. Now granted, they're some of the best in the world, but you see more and more kids every day playing video games and getting really good at them and end up on pro teams that compete against each other for. There was one the other day that they competed against each other, and the winning team got $1.5 million split between 4 players. Also, they're on team contracts, which are on average like 30 to 40K a month. I mean, these are 16, 17, 18-year-olds, people making that amount of money. I mean, there's obviously opportunities when it comes to gaming. It's not all a waste of time. Another way a career in gaming is to stream your POV. A thing that's blew up in the last couple years is streaming. You stream your gameplay live, and other people tune in and watch, and if they really like what you're doing, they can stay, and you get money from the ads that the platform runs, and you also get money for people that choose to subscribe to you. To subscribe at the lowest amount is $4.99 a person, and one of the big guys that I watch has 50,000 subscribers. So $4.99 times 50,000. I mean, you know, it's a lot of money. When kids, for even people that are actually not playing the game, there's also huge opportunities in gaming. There are big organizations that are hiring very creative people to come in and test video games, and you know, if you have a passion for it, you can help create video games, you can test video games. All of them are really high paying jobs, and you know, there's opportunities even if you're not, you know, they're just looking for creative people. When kids practice a hobby for gaming over years, they can master their craft and potentially earn sponsorships from gaming companies to push their product, because if you're really good, people are going to know, like, oh my gosh, what is he using? What kind of controller does he have? What kind of PlayStation does he have? And, you know, they'll pay you to advertise their product, which is another way to earn revenue playing video games. It is also possible to earn money by creating and testing games. Like I said, there's big companies. I mean, you can get in, you can test the video games, you can let them know if there's any bugs, any problems with the game. In conclusion, video game industry has grown tremendously over the years, and it continues to grow today. I truly believe in the next couple years it'll be just as big. You know, the competitive scene of gaming would be just as big as the NFL, the MLB, because I mean, it's growing every day at crazy numbers. For this reason, people's mindsets and assumptions about gaming should evolve as well. I mean, not all games are bad, and there really is opportunity and benefits that come from playing games. If you're a parent and you know you have a child that wants to play video games, if they're doing their homework, they're doing their chores, they're finishing their thing, you know, their chores, anything they got, I mean, they should be able to play their games because they really can find success and benefits from it.